Yeah, go to the one under it. There's one with the logo on it. I know, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, babe. Okay, let's see. We'll see who has found us. Okay, Fred's trying to call me. I am. If you have to find it, it's on YouTube only. Okay, I'm going to mute this for a second. All right, I got some of you in there. There we go. So at least we're on live on YouTube. Good to have you back. Okay. Yeah, it takes a second. So I'm unmuted. I was talking to Fred. Um, so it doesn't look like Facebook is up and running, but I've got you guys. I've got you guys back on Facebook once again, or excuse me, on YouTube once again. Leslie Koppel, I see you. Jim Vermilia, I see you. Alicia Pierce, I see you. Bob Eddy, I got you in there. Erica McVeigh, Alicia Pierce, Lisa Danner, Lisa Baptist, got you all. Okay, we're going to continue on and go through. So I had everything muted. That's why you couldn't hear me because my friend Fred Zobel was calling me trying to do diagnostics and figure out what was going wrong. So I still don't know why we did that again. I've followed what the directions that were given to me, but it looks like we're still disconnecting. So I'm going to play with it a little bit longer, but if this still continues, then we're going to have to go with a different company for our streaming because this is getting ridiculous. So you guys have my apologies once again. Chapter 38 of Exodus, verse 1. He made the altar a burnt offering of acacia wood. 5 cubits was its length, and 5 cubits its width. It was square, and its height was 3 cubits. Excuse me. He made its horns on 4 corners. The horns were of one piece with it, and he overlaid it with bronze. He made all the utensils for the altar, the pans, the shovels, the basins, the forks, and the fire pans. All the utensils he made of bronze. And he made a grate of bronze network for the altar under its rim, midway from the bottom. He cast 4 rings for the 4 corners of the bronze grating as holders for the poles. And he made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. Then he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the altar, with which to bear it. He made the altar hollow with boards. He made the laver of bronze and its base of bronze from the bronze mirrors of the serving women who assembled at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Then he made the court on the south side. The hangings of the court were of fine woven linen, 100 cubits long. There were 20 pillars for them and 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. On the north side, the hangings were 100 cubits long, with 20 pillars and their 20 bronze sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. And on the west side, there were hangings of 50 cubits, with 10 pillars and their 10 sockets. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. For the east side of the hangings were 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate were 15 cubits long, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets, and the same for the other side of the court gate. On this side and that were hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. All the hangings of the court all around were of fine woven linen. The sockets for the pillars were bronze. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver, and the overlay of their capitals was silver, and all the pillars of the court had bands of silver. The screen for the gate of the court was woven of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, of fine woven linen. The length was 20 cubits, and the height along its width was 5 cubits, corresponding to the hangings of the court. And there were four pillars with their 4 sockets of bronze. Their hooks were silver, and the overlay of their capitals and their bands were silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and of all the court all around were bronze. This is the inventory of the tabernacle of the testimony, which was counted according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron the priest. Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord had commanded Moses, and with him was Aholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, an engraver and designer, a weaver of blue, purple, and scarlet thread, and of fine linen. Okay, so all of this is laid out and it's delineated in Scripture so that if they needed to, they could recreate this. And of course, they did need to. We have first the tabernacle, and then the first temple was made under Solomon, and then they had to redo the temple again when it was destroyed by the Babylonians, and they came back under Ezra and Nehemiah. So it's good that God laid all this out and that Moses wrote it down. Okay, Becky Hughes just joined us and she found us. Jim Vermilia says, need a different provider. Yeah, and I got to let you guys know, uh, we put Daily Manna together when it became an independent ministry. I had a lot of help from Nicole getting everything laid out, and some of the costs, like for the website, was put forward. The church helped me get that started up. But when it came to the service provider for the streaming, that came out of what Cheryl and I paid to get it started for the ministry. So it's going to be I probably are going to have to find a different provider, but it's going to be one of those things I'm going to have to wait until I can afford it because it's going to be a big chunk. But I'll let you know, and I'll let you know what I find out as soon as I find that out. We're trying to get this work, so I know it's frustrating for you guys. It's frustrating for us. Verse 21. This is the inventory of the tabernacle of the testimony, which was counted according to the commandment of Moses for the service of the Levites by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron. Did I read all this? I did, didn't I? Okay, verse 24. All the gold that was used in all the work of the holy place, that is the gold of the offering, was 29 talents. Now, if you think of that, 75 pounds to 100 pounds each one, that's a lot of gold, a lot of silver, all the stuff that was put into the temple, and 730 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary. Now, think of that at today's costs, $2,800 per ounce of gold. Wow, that's a fortune. And the silver, verse 25, from those who were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, a bekah for each man, that is half a shekel, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone included in the numbering from 20 years old and above, for 603,550 men. And from the 100 talents of silver were cast the sockets of the sanctuary and the bases of the veil, 100 sockets from the 100 talents, 1 talent for each socket. Then from the 1,775 shekels, he made hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made bands for them. The offering of bronze was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels, and with them he made the sockets for the door of the tabernacle of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating for it, and all the utensils for the altar, the sockets for the court all around, the bases for the court gate, all the pegs for the tabernacle, and all the pegs for the court all around. Okay. And Becky, I'm sorry, that's not what I was saying. So please Forgive me. I probably shouldn't even have said that in the first place.